Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Recording has started. Hello and welcome once again to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser, and with me as always is the blue-eyed bomber from the Burger Pits.
Phil, me, and Perich.
Welcome back, Philip. Man. So, we are only 1 week from the big public premiere of Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes.
And what should drop on Disney Plus today? But the thing I've been railing about for years now! Hail to the King. It was hidden from us. Locked away, said no. You don't get to see this, which led to all kinds of speculations. Is this stuff that isn't going to be part of the story? Is this, they're just getting rid of Trevor? He doesn't exist. Nobody likes him. Yada, yada, yada.
So we getting Trevor, at least for a cameo, if nothing else?
Oh, I would be sorely upset if he's not in it somewhere. I mean, you know, he gets broken out, he gets blipped, whatever the storyline is. But here's the thing. I don't know if you've ever seen Hail to the King. But something just struck me that's really interesting. Trevor has a gang protecting him in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And it strikes me, you know, the idea that, oh, well, they just like him because he's a celebrity. That's a lot to ask of people just because he's a celebrity. And you kind of have to imagine, because for what it's worth, you know, at the end of this, we do see Justin Hammer again at the end of it. And I think there is this maybe implication in this that he is being protected in prison by the Ten Rings organization. Maybe Justin Hammer himself is a part of the Ten Rings organization. Like, maybe a lot of this stuff is going to come out. Like I said, I do not think they're taking the Mandarin to be, you know, to be harmed by the Mandarin. I think the Mandarin is coming to try and find out who Trevor Slattery is and how he was able to, in effect, you know, use the power of charisma to bring the Mandarin into the open, to make the Mandarin a character that maybe even some people even more want to empathize with.
All of that, and maybe the Mandarin using Trevor as a decoy, too. You know, if someone's going to take a shot, hey, yeah, let him think he's the Mandarin.
You know, anything is possible. But it's like, it's one of those things that you don't think about when you first see it, but as the story has progressed, and we're getting into our new Shang-Chi reveals, the fact that they're dropping Hail to the King now tells me that they want us to see this again. That they've hidden it because there is something to be revealed here. And as I said, one of the things that is striking me...
Okay, here's a question.
Here's an interesting point. He doesn't give a fatal shot to Trevor's bodyguard.
Okay.
He knocks him out. Oh, he does shiv him, so sorry. But it's all real time for me.
Okay, I got a question. Okay, did you go looking and discover that was back on there, or did it come up in the algorithm?
No. It is literally, you hit the Marvel button on Disney Plus,
and it comes up.
It is big as life next to What If.
Well, maybe that's why they took it off. So when they were ready to drop it again, it was going to pop up in the algorithm. They're like, hey, for no reason in particular, you might be interested in this short video.
Yeah, but we know they've been teasing the Ten Rings for a long time, and here's an interesting thing about the new Ten Rings. Is they did a redesign of the logo. And the Ten Rings logo we're seeing, because the Ten Ring logo we've seen every other time in the Marvel Universe has Mongolian characters in the Ten Rings.
Mm-hmm.
And the one we're getting now has Chinese characters.
Hmm.
And there was actually a whole controversy about the Mongolian characters, and the Mongolian Chamber of Commerce kind of saying, you know, why do we have to be the bad guys in this? And the reality is that now that same guy said, man, you know, now that they've changed to the Chinese, I kind of feel bad because that was our thing, is we had that and we complained about it, and now they're giving it back to the Chinese. And, you know, Mongolia and China, they don't have a good relationship, if you don't know.
Or what if there was some kind of like fighting? It's like, you know, a couple guys were trying to lay claim to the name Mandarin and Ten Rings, and, you know, we're going to see the guy who won, and it's Shang-Chi's father.
Well, we do see at the end of it that, they changed the ending? Well, something's weird going on here. But the thing is that at the, this is weird because they put like what was originally at the beginning now at the end. What was originally at the end is now at the beginning. I don't know. It's interesting. But
we have snaps in Charlie Esser. We have had snaps.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted, man.
I'm just saying we've snapped the universe a couple times since it first aired, too.
You know,
maybe that's why they took it off.
I get the feeling.
I get
the feeling.
Maybe they wanted to edit it differently. That's why they took it off.
Yeah, you know, something's going on here. But I want to talk about Shang-Chi because Shang-Chi is going to be important. Not just because it is, you know, this very. It's going to be a big film. Mm-hmm. Everyone says it's very nice. You know, there's a lot of very positive discussions about it right now. And I honestly feel that we're going to get reveals in here. We're going to have some connections to everything else. But one of the things I really wanted to talk about was, honestly, this is driving me nuts now, because there is a trailer where they go to what appears to be a land of mystical animals. Because there's the kitsune, and there's the dragon lions, and all of these things that we see in this place. Sort of this, you know, almost like, you know, this idea of Kunlun, you know, but like almost as if there is another pocket dimensions place that you can go to that is filled with all of these magical creatures. But while they're in there, they're talking about the Ten Rings. And they say specifically the phrase, the Ten Rings are the most powerful objects in your universe. Arguably suggesting they may be, in their own way, more powerful than the Infinity Stones. Or maybe this is before the Infinity Stones were reformed. So they just sort of went up a rank. But, you know, whatever the Ten Rings are and what we're going to be seeing with this, it's pretty impressive, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Because it is this idea of you have this global entity called the Ten Rings. And, you know, I'm trying to work out the timeline because they have said this does take place after the blip. And there is this statement, and I thought he said, you know, I let you live your life for 5 years. He actually says, I let you live your life for 10 years. Which part of me was thinking, and I theorized this with Maz, was that maybe the Mandarin got blipped.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you said that.
Know,
I think, yeah, we talked about that last week too. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but I think that the idea that actually, no, he left at 15 and the Mandarin let him go. Let him experience the world outside so that he would, I guess, arguably be the prodigal son returning. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how this film ends. Because does it end with Shang-Chi taking over the Ten Rings, similar to what we see in the current Shang-Chi comic, where he takes over the organization, but now he's going to use it as a force for good? Similar to the way, interestingly enough, that Jimmy Woo does the same thing with the Atlas Foundation, as the son of the Yellow Claw. There's a lot of interesting parallels between Jimmy Woo and Shang-Chi in the comics, in the sense that they're both the children of the elder, Yellow Peril monster that they then have to live with that in their own way. And there's a lot of interesting aspects of that. And I wonder, and I do believe Jimmy Woo is in Shang-Chi as well, which, again, opens up all these other gates. Is Jimmy Woo going to be a part of this story? Are the Agents of Atlas going to be in it? I doubt it. But wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, but I think first movie they're going to want to focus on Shang-Chi, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we always get to, because, they can do anything in an end credit scene.
Yeah, true.
They can have Jimmy Woo or Sharon Venter or, what's her name? The new Countessa Allegra show up in that end credits. They can do whatever they want to. I actually thought it might be interesting at the end of Far From No Way Home to have Mephisto show up, but in that end credits scene. Mm-hmm. It's like, I hear you're having some problems. Maybe I can be of help. But, I am excited about Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah.
I am excited.
End credit scene on Shang-Chi. Watch. We'll get a end credit scene where we see Jimmy. We'll get we'll see the first scenes of our spin-off with Jimmy Woo and Darcy.
I mean, I would love that. Based on the fact that they're still pitching it, I don't think it exists yet. That's just the sad thing. There's all these things that we would love to see, but it's sort of like Grogu, in Mandalorian. As much as we love it, and as much as it seems like, oh wow, that's an obvious thing, they got caught flat-footed. They said, oh wow, you know what? That is a brilliant idea. Why didn't we develop that? Mm-hmm. And if they had started developing, Jimmy and Darcy as a story back when they shot WandaVision, it probably, that's a big risk because they hadn't released it yet and found out that everyone loves that dynamic. Because you can see it and you can love the dynamic, but you don't know it's a good dynamic until you actually release it on the populace. What are you most looking forward to in Shang-Chi, Phil?
I don't know about looking forward to, but I'm just, I'm sure Disney will knock it out of the park, but I'm just nervous that they're like kind of they're kind of revamping it, with the rings, because like in the comics before this, he didn't have like any like powers or mystical objects. He was just like a kung fu he was like a spy and a kung fu master.
Oh yeah, well, he always had the idea that the he had his chi and all that kind of stuff. Now, with regard to the 10 rings, I don't think he takes the 10 rings.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh,
because I don't think they're going to write out the Mandarin that easy. I don't think it's a one and done supervillain. I think they kind of want to have that idea that they can build a villain verse, because for what it's worth, as we see in Falcon Winter Soldier, and again in Black Widow, and Countessa Allegra de Fontaine, essentially positioning herself to gain these unscrupulous superpowered people to be her allies, that opens up a lot of interesting doors.
Yeah, but
the idea that
now that you said it, I'm thinking, watch, he'll destroy the rings at the end or something. Cause he'll be like, yeah, they could be a powerful force for good, but if there's a chance my father can get them, I need to destroy the rings or something. Or
no, see, I don't think that, because at first I don't even know if he has the power to do that,
or put him somewhere where they'll be out of his father's reach or something.
No, I think his father takes the dang rings back, and I think that to me that's the end. I think to give you an example, I think it's going to be a Ship of Theseus storyline, where it's not that he beats him with brute force, but he just talks him out of it. Sort of like in the previous episode of What If, when T'Challa just makes a better argument to Thanos. and says, you know what, I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong. Though I still think my planet, still has to defend it. But at the end of the day, he was willing to admit that, you know what, maybe I didn't have everything as right as I thought I did. And I think that what we're going to see with T'Challa, or not with T'Challa, but with Shang-Chi and the Mandarin, is that he doesn't beat him by punching him. Because for what it's worth, I think all of the best Marvel stories aren't about punching. If you think about something like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, the real emotional arc of that is Cap reaching Bucky.
Yeah.
And bringing him over. And I think in many other ways, that is always the thing. The thing isn't, oh, I was strong and I punched you. It was that I was a hero and I convinced you. I was a hero and I changed you. And so I think that's what we can anticipate with Shang-Chi.
Maybe.
Did you see the most recent What If?
Yes, I'm current.
You want to talk about that for a sec?
Sure, yeah.
So, and this again goes into that idea about who can we bring in? Because obviously at the end of this, we have Fury and Coulson, and we do bring in Captain Marvel, and Hank Pym is still alive. And I do love the idea that Loki, in a day, conquers the world. And I have to imagine that is a mix of manipulation and, again, just good trickster arguments.
And again, we have no superpowered beings at the moment.
Well, that are active. I mean,
well,
obviously
I'm saying the world doesn't know Carol Danvers is out there. They don't know Steve Rogers is still alive, frozen in ice. Yeah.
They have Blonsky.
Can they control
And I think that, well, Blonsky's still a soldier.
I guess.
And the thing is I think that there's this idea that we might revisit some of these universes in season 2.
Yeah, because a lot of them, they leave them a lot open-ended, yeah.
Yeah, and the idea that you left Hank Pym around. I would love to see Hank Pym as almost a Hannibal Lecter kind of character, where they're wheeling him in, which is, you need someone to wear the suit. And they're like, get this kid. And that's how we're going to get
Scott Lang.
Scott Lang into it, We're going to get Scott Lang, Saw him on the news. I think he could handle it. But I just love the idea of maybe we're going to do a Hannibal Lecter, Hank Pym, and we're going to have our own little Dark Avengers in that, And to be fair, we don't know if the Hulk's dead. Because when he says, I can't die, it seems like, oh, well, that's such a bold statement. Then he explodes, but did he? I mean, essentially parts of him got expanded. I mean, I thought it would have been even more interesting if he actually just shrunk the Hulk into the quantum realm.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a cool way to end that scene, but they didn't do that. They went with the explosion, where that means that there's a body for them to bury. If there's a body for them to bury, we know the Hulk can come back. Unless,
I mean, they didn't show it, but unless, Hank Pym, took, a piece of him or something, his heart or something, and separated from the rest of it. I don't know. I'm thinking there's some way.
Yeah. The whole expansion thing, it's an interesting choice for how you kill a Hulk. Because what I will say is, from what we know of the Hulk, I don't think that will work. I think it would kill Banner. Yeah. And maybe if he had done it when he was Banner, it would have worked. But he didn't, but he had already started transforming when it happened. So, I think it would have been much smarter to just shrink the Hulk to the quantum realm. Because at this point, he doesn't know you can come back from the quantum realm. So, unleashing the Hulk on the quantum realm, which would have been comic book accurate for those who want that deep Hulk lore.
Yeah.
And then you could see, him and Jarella, and wouldn't that be a great What If series? Which wouldn't be a What If because it's actually what happened in the Marvel Universe, but what if Hulk went to the quantum realm and became a hero?
But yeah, I saw a theory. Someone had a theory too. They're saying, who probably killed Hope Van Dyne, the Winter Soldier.
Oh yes, because it's in Odessa, and that's where where Black Widow got her little abdomen scar.
But that just got me. That just got me thinking too. You know who might fight Loki? Who wouldn't want to bend the knee to Loki? Hydra.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's
you could get like Shield and Hydra, all teaming up. You're like, yeah, we got to take this guy down.
And to be fair, Rumlow's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, could you imagine if we get Zola, Robot Zola, but like full Robot Zola in the cartoon where they can do it? It's like, and then it's like we actually have some people. You get Powers in there. What's his name? The guy who was on the council, who was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., who was it Powers Booth? Forgetting the name of the actor. Anyway, but you get that, yeah. But if you integrate that Hydra element into it, you get Zemo, or you get Von Strucker. Says, well, we do have these young people who are very interested in harnessing their innate abilities. Because that's another thing, is that the Scarlet Witch, if what we know from WandaVision is still out there, she's still out there. If she's still the Chaos Magic Witch.
If they ever came back to this, oh my god. You know what they could do? You could bring in your Blonsky, you could bring in your Scarlet Witch and your Quicksilver, and you know who would lead them, and you know where I'm going with this when I say the name. Zemo.
Oh yeah, better than Zemo.
Thunderbolts.
Because in this universe, his country isn't destroyed.
Yes.
And we get full-on Hydra Zemo.
Mm-hmm.
Although, actually, I guess he said that his family fought Hydra, to install their own, power structure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everyone would team up against Loki, though. I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra aren't going to want to work together, but they're like, yeah, I'd rather fight you than Loki, so, so let's take them down, then we can all go back
and maybe Zemo can be the bridge between S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. That's the idea. So, yeah, I mean, revisiting this world would be really interesting. And they definitely set it up to be revisited.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with them finding Cap at the end.
Yep.
Although, again, it's an odd way to do it because, honestly, the timeline it's interesting to suggest everything, but I think that is canon that everything happened in a week. Although I get the feeling that when no, that's right, because he showed up at the end of some film and said, yeah, when he goes to New Mexico. I want to say, was that an end credit scene where we see Coulson standing over the thing?
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, it was an end credit scene. Well, was it? I'm trying to remember. Was it at the end of Hulk, or was it one of the Iron Mans? I think it was an end.
No, the end credits of Hulk was actually the introduction of Tony Stark.
Maybe it was Iron Man 2 or something.
Yeah, but I'm also wondering if maybe he didn't have that. This is also a thing in this universe. He didn't have the stop at that he has in a funny thing happened on the way to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Where he actually doesn't have that stop, or he stops for gas earlier, and so he doesn't go in and fight the guy. Yeah. So he gets there a little bit earlier before all the people crowd around it. It becomes this whole thing.
I mean, the episode is well written. I mean, I didn't figure out Hank Pym for a while. At first, I was like, "Oh, is Loki like doing this?" And then once Thor dies, I'm like, "Oh, is Loki setting this up so he can have an excuse to come to Earth and invade Earth?" But I guess no, he just used the situation, and be like, "Hey, no."
No, I definitely thought it was going to be a Loki thing, but then, and then I thought, "Oh, it's Ghost." But it wasn't. It was none of the above. It was Hank Pym himself. And but that's this thing, and this is where we always get back to with the what ifs, that there is more things that change than what we say is the turning point.
Oh, you know what? If we have Pym's technology, we don't need Scott Lang. What if we got Bill Foster?
Well, that could be a great thing, man. Get Black Goliath in it.
Yeah.
Or just Goliath. Because everyone knows he's black, So yeah, I mean, I would love to see Bill Foster as Giant Man in this. That would be amazing. There are a lot of things that would be really great that we could see in that next Avengers thing. Apparently, and I will say this, and it might be false, IMDb does have a description of episode 9, which says the Guardians of the Multiverse, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if it's real or true, or if someone just got in there and publish something and it could be gone by now anyway. But
yeah, because I haven't seen like a lot of descriptions of episodes till like I swear it's like it seems like a day or two before. They're like, okay, yeah, here's what's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very weird when I went up and pulled up the IMDb to do it with Maz for this last, for actually the episode before this one. And I saw, oh, wow, they already have this up. And like the one before it is the zombies episode, but that was obvious because that's like the image they use for it.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you anything about it. It's just, it's the Marvel Zombie storyline, reimagined in What If. But then the one after that is the Guardians of the Multiverse. And it's like, well, what is that? So it's a thing. There's a lot going on, Phil, and I don't have answers for all of it. That's all I got to say. All right. Okay. You want to talk some comic books?
Sure.
Okay. What was my favorite of these? Conan was good. Avengers was okay. Avengers. So let's open with Winter Guard #1.
Winter Guard.
Winter Guard #1 with our classic Marvel Cinematic Universe's Red Guardian in being a Red Guardian because he's got his beard. He's older. Although one of the things I really loved about this, and I didn't even realize this beforehand, is they have Vanguard in it. Remember Vanguard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Darkstar's brother, I believe. And he has that repulsive force.
Yeah.
And he used to have the hammer and sickle. Now, because he has repulsive force, you know what they gave him? A shield.
Oh.
So they have him look pretty much like Red Guardian. You open it up with Yelena being interrogated by Captain Marvel, because this is just after the start of World War She-Hulk, where they have ran She-Hulk through the Red Room to make it crazy, man. And then you have that basically the Russians have come to kill Yelena because they see her as a traitor. Teams up with her big sis who's still alive, and they had their conversation. And man, I gotta tell you, man, there's a part of me that really wants Red Widow to be the 40s Black Widow from the 12. And I know it sounds weird, but the idea of this person as this person who has literally made a deal with the devil, literally has gone through hell, being the Red Widow, I can see that giving her purpose in a certain way. So I would very much like to see that. By the way, is Destiny alive again?
No.
I want to just talk about the ads real quick.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's like they've done. It was a while ago, but they did flashbacks where like Destiny saw this whole Krakoa thing, and it's like she basically told Mystique, she's like, if they don't resurrect me, burn it all to the ground. Because I think that's what Inferno is going to be. Because yeah, Mystique's been like like doing missions for Xavier and Magneto, and now she keeps saying, she's like, when are you bringing Destiny back? And they're like, oh no, not yet. So So I think Mystique's at the end of her patience, because they're not bringing Destiny back. Could it be threatened by someone?
Know how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ends badly.
So like I said, I think Mystique's about to burn it all to the ground.
Yeah. Well, that could be a good way to do Inferno. Although, I have to say, I also think it's interesting that Inferno is coming just as, oh no, Johnny can't turn off his flame powers again.
Because, yeah.
And apparently there's like this whole thing where they're trying to, how can we possibly turn off their flame powers? And I'm like, well, how'd you do it the last time?
I know, yeah. Fantastic Four 326. How'd you do it last time, Reed?
Yeah. Oh, I am desperately hoping they reference it.
He's stuck in a big machine. Oh, maybe because Doom did it this time, because Doom wasn't the one who did it last time, so maybe because it's a different processor.
No, but the last time it was like mystical in its origin.
Yeah.
Although arguably maybe it is again. And maybe they should reference that. It's like, I thought this might be similar to the last time where it had a mystical origin. But it wasn't.
Unless, they open up the next issue and, Reed's like, yeah, that's the first thing I tried and it didn't work, what I did last time.
Yeah. I do like this. We get Perun back, who is one of my favorite,
Russian Thor. Yeah.
Lesser known, he's the Russian Thor, basically. And then you also have what's his name? The guy from that Bald Mountain. Man, I can never remember his name when I want to remember his name. Chernobog. They have Chernobog back, the god of darkness and secrets, which is interesting because they make this point where Alexei, Red Guardian, says, no, one of your people has already betrayed you. Didn't you know? That's how I've been able to best you so easily. And then there's another thing where Darkstar and Chernobog are talking, and it's like, what else are you the god of? He says, I'm the god of secrets. So there's so much to unpack in that, and I am really glad I got Winter Guard. This was my favorite book this week. I have to say that, even that I read. I didn't read Captain America yet, or Robin. Yeah, but so far, Winter Guard was my favorite.
I was going to say, Captain America was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
No, it's Captain America. It's always good.
Oh, yeah, but, yeah, they meet this new captain, Joe Gomez, of the Kickapoo tribe. He's a big Captain America fan. He has a whole, room devoted to Captain America.
Yeah, well, I like that he's got similar to that What If Captain America, where he's empowered by the spirit of the lands of the Americas.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
those of you who remember that old What If.
And Joe's like, we met before. Captain America didn't remember, but I guess however long back, because Joe is a construction worker. Well, he helps everybody in the town, with free plumbing and whatever handyman work they need. But yeah, I guess years ago the wrecking crew was battling destroying his construction site. He was one comes up to up on the crane and he kicks him off, but he's ready about to fall and he's like, oh, no one's gonna save me. There's no one to save me. But then of course Steve Rogers shows up to catch him at the last second.
Mm.
So that's when
cool.
That's when he got the idea to become one of the captains. Yeah.
Yes, I see that. There's the flashback. Cool.
Because,
Yeah.
Because he even says at the end, he's like, yeah, my people were here before even America and we'll be here long after, so.
Well, that's the idea. And the idea of the, sort of like how Spider-Man is tied to that mystical web of the spider, the idea that there is this yearning breath of freedom that exists in the Americas and infects us all. One hopes.
And of course,
cool.
Who's joining Steve and Sam on their journey now? Of course, Bucky.
Oh, Bucky's with him?
Yeah, he just showed up to help, so he's like, yeah, I'm in.
Where's my poor D-man?
Well, he was never Captain America.
This is true. Although, they did do a one-shot of him when he was fighting in either Iraq or Afghanistan. Where he sort of puts on his own, because he decides that the best way to honor Cap's legacy is to become a soldier. Mm-hmm. And he actually gets a whole team of other people that want to do these nighttime raids as superheroes. Although, I guess in a lot of ways, those probably don't age well either. What if we just completely ignored the rules of engagement? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Of course, we have Avengers Infinity number 1. Well, when they're renumbering an annual number 1 and it's the Avengers, where's the legacy in that?
Everything this year, Marvel or DC, it seems like every annual has been number 1 this year.
So yeah, I do love the I love the discussion of the term robot.
Oh, yeah.
With our little robot that started, especially talking about the difference between synthesoids, and of course that's technically just people built with Horton cells, which I also think is just a lovely thing. And then we have the little cyborg trucker, this is what I love about this. It's like, this is the first time we actually see like real, like, super advanced tech just in a normal person.
Oh yeah, it's like Marvel Universe. He probably would have like more sophisticated prosthesis. And
he's got his freaking Winter Soldier arm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because they make him to a certain size and he's a big guy, it's kind of a small Winter Soldier arm. It's like his Winter Soldier arm is smaller than his real arm. But he makes do. That is Cray, which I also love that they named him Cray after the Cray supercomputer. See, it's a connection. This Sapien League that doesn't like apparently synthetic humans either. And I also really like the conversation that Cray and what is their name? I know that the superhero name of the Soul Stone is the Multitude, but they like give them a name or
the
him a name.
Boy.
The actual synthetic human at the start. Did they give them a name or anyway? But it's neat when he's like, I don't know if I think that's a good name, but if it's what you call yourself, I'll accept it. Which is good.
He says his name's Ward.
Ward, there you go, like Watcher and Ward. There's Captain America making himself his regular 12-egg breakfast with bacon. Because he burns a lot of calories.
And all Tony Stark's like, I could just make you a drink that'll give you, do that for you.
It's like, yes, but that would be awful.
I know your post-human metabolism requires protein, but this is obscene.
Yeah. But I like Multitude basically saying, save my friend or we'll stand down, is good, and then flies off on the dragon. Yeah, see, that's the one, see. And again, Moira McTarget, also that person with alternate timeline knowledge, Mystique, and Destiny. What do the ads mean, Phil? What do the ads mean? And then we get basically Fury breaking away from Nighthawk.
Mm-hmm.
Although this is what confuses me in this timeline-wise. Because we see we've got Star in the box. So does that mean that this takes place before the Black Widow story?
The Black Cat one? Yeah, no.
Not Black Widow, Black Cat story?
Yeah, no, at the bottom it says to be continued in Black Cat number 8. So yeah, Black Cat 8 came out first, but so this takes place before all the Black Cat ones.
Okay. Oh yeah, and we see here's Black Cat with all the stones.
Yeah. I don't know.
Why did she want the stones?
I don't know if the scheduling got messed up, but yeah, this takes place before all the Black Cat ones.
Okay, that makes sense then. So that means that the Fury we saw in that one was actually the Fury who had freed himself already.
Yep.
Any other books you want to talk?
Did you read Thor?
Yes, I did read Thor.
The cover was kind of... Oh, you got the... See, on mine it says barroom bonding with Odin. They were not in a bar room, and 2, Odin doesn't show up till almost the end, so...
Yeah. Actually, I saw that cover. I think I got the variant again. I don't know, man. Keep on sticking me with the variants at my store. But we get the dream of Thanos triumphant with Infinity Stones on a hammer. And I love that, Jane basically says, so wait, you say that the hammer doesn't, anyone can lift the hammer now, and you're worried about Thanos hitting it, and you just left it somewhere.
Not the deepest thinker.
He's not. Although I do like him getting his hot dogs and dropping his accent, which I thought was a nice treat. Then the fight with the Wreckers.
And I think...
I like that.
I think
Jane has her costume, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it like magical or I don't know.
Well, her costume is magical. He actually apparently has to change clothes now.
But he's not carrying the hammer. I think he used the hammer to change, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I love how he pulled
Magic.
he pulled the trick. I think people have pulled on him. He grabs the wrecker's wrecking bar as it's coming back and just like rides it in, like punch him in the face.
That was cool.
Because people grab his hammer.
I don't think you have to be worthy to wield wreckers.
No, but I'm just saying, using the
crowbar,
momentum, you know, people tried to grab Thor's hammer as it's coming back and got pulling along. So Thor grabs the bar to get pulled back.
I just think it would be cool if he just starts wielding the crowbar.
I know.
Crowbar of Thor. Just, I got to take your crowbar, man.
If nothing else, it's keeping it away from the wrecker.
Yeah.
At least take it home to Asgard and lock it up or something.
Yeah, but he gets sent to get attacked by a beast. And then we get Angela and, Hawk Hunter Freya. That's how they describe her.
Oh, yeah, because the crows come and say, oh, yeah, your mother's calling you, but no, it's actually his father.
Well, no, it actually was his mother.
Well, yeah. Well,
she just called him to where his father was. Because even Odin says, I didn't call you, dude. It's like, it wasn't me, because it was her. Because she's bringing the Borson boys all together. Yeah. Oh, boy. That was a good book. Last book I read this week is Conan, number 24. And it's kind of neat. It's Conan on a boat. And hanging with his boat friends, and they're talking, all their great tales of adventure. And they say, Conan, you may be lying, but it's a dang good story. But there's one guy on the boat who don't like him, and that's the navigator, who basically feels like, Conan, adventure follows you everywhere. That's not good. What God cursed you to live this life? Because lots of people die because of you. And of course, they get sailed into a big storm, typhoon. It gets to be a mess. When they get to it, they find out that the navigator was actually steering them into the storm. We get this big reveal of this fancy magic sigil, which is going to come back, because then they say that when years later, when Conan and Belit were pirating, she dies in a temple with the symbol. Bum, bum, bum. So, Conan. It's public domain, but Marvel does it best. All right.
Hey, before we dive out real quick, do you want to just real briefly talk Lower Decks? Star Trek Lower Decks? We've got the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I really like Lower Decks. I like they did the transporter twin with Boimler.
Yes.
Or Boimler at the end. Although I also like the fact that Boimler's transporter twin was clearly a different person. Was a person who, you know what, I'm not going to be bound by my past. I'm just going to relax and be Boimler. Kind of in the way that you kind of get this idea that Thomas Riker kind of was the dark side of Will, Sort of in when you think about that first time we had that first transporter twinning accident, and one was all of the good natures of Kirk, and one was all of the aggression of Kirk. That's the first time they did that trick, And, idea that...
But with the Thomas Riker thing, it's like Ben Riley. It's like, yeah, they were the same exact person until that moment, and then for years they had completely different experiences, so...
Well, yes, for them, but I think that with...
Yeah, Boimler was
with
just...
this case...
Yeah, 5 minutes later, he's like, oh, yeah.
But like I said, that is more similar to what originally happened when Kirk first split. Because, like I said, that idea of the co-location was not the first time they did that idea with Riker. But in that case, they decided that both clones would be stable. Because, of course, the thing with Kirk was that they were both unstable, but they also were just opposing personality aspects of each other. One was Kirk's intellect, one was Kirk's passion. And similar to what happened when Banner got separated from the Hulk in the 80s using the nutrient bath. Remember the nutrient bath, Phil?
Yes, sir.
That was the first time we got Rick Hulk. because he gets bathed in all that hulking nutrients.
Yep.
And the first appearance of Grey Hulk.
Well, the second appearance.
Later, the second appearance. Yeah, true. Fair enough. Yeah. Depending on how you count it. Yes, it's the return to the Grey Hulk and Joe Fixit. So many good comic books out there, Philip. All right. I have nothing. Oh, so, yeah, but that was that one. And prior to that, we also had, what was the one? Oh, we had the one in the collector's domain.
Oh, yeah.
Where the two Alpha Lower Deck people basically said, wait, what if we let the other two make the decisions? And the other two actually turns out to be completely competent people, but they just never wanted, they just could never get a word in edgewise. Because that's what it is to learn to be a good Starfleet officer. How do we listen to other people?
And it's like, why don't we just wait for help to come?
Yes, well, you know. And then...
Episode 3.
Actually, in the later one...
What? Okay.
Oh, well, I was going to say... Oh, episode... which one was that? Episode 2 was the Collectors.
No,
right?
No, the first one was the Collectors. The second one was Boimler getting cloned. The third one was We'll Always Have Tom Paris.
Oh, that was the third one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Tom Paris, yeah.
Yes, Tom Paris.
I love how Boimler comes
Which also gives us that timeline that this is post-Voyager.
Oh yeah, I thought it was supposed to be current, set in this current, Picard.
No, I don't think it's the current Picard universe. I think Picard takes place after Lower Decks.
Because I thought
because
in the second episode, I thought they were kind of because like Boimler was kind of making this statement. It's like, yeah, it doesn't all have to be like violence and fighting. I kind of like a ship where we just go exploring and we have concerts. Like Beethoven concerts and jazz and.
Which is neat, and also why he would want to be on Riker's ship, because Riker loved jazz, Riker had an artistic side.
I love it. They start drinking. Play Nightbird.
And one of the things that Tristan noticed about that episode was that obviously everyone on Titan is wearing the battle uniforms, where it's black with red highlights, versus the more casual uniform, I guess... exploratory uniforms where it's the color first and then the black on the side. So, very interesting all around. But, yeah, I mean, I like all these episodes. I like the We'll Always Have Tom Paris because, the idea of Tom Paris just touring doing motivational speaking about his time in the Alpha Gamma Quadrant. It seems like something he could do and he'd be good at. And
I love when Boimler comes out of it.
Fun with.
I love when Boimler comes out of the Jeffries tube all dirty and stuff, and Tom Paris like, Kazon!
Yeah. Well, he still has, it's a lot of trauma from that time. Did he get his plate signed or no? I forget.
No, I could remember he says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it signed at the bar later," because I guess it was Tom gonna take him out for a drink or something to apologize for beating him up or whatever.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So that's good.
He had gets
his whole.
He had all the plates. He said from Janeway to Kim. He had all of them.
Yes, and now he's got this one. And not for nothing. Because for those who don't know, Star Trek collectible plates are a thing. They were a very real thing.
Yep.
I remember because as a young man coming into nerddom, and the very first cons I went to were Comic-Con / Star Trek cons. And they had, like, the rarest plate is the Mirror Spock plate, I don't know who manufactured these plates. I don't know what the backstory is, but at some point someone decided that commemorative Star Trek plates would be a thing, and they were hot. Let me tell you. So this is deep dive Star Trek lore back in the day, back when Next Generation was this, hey, here's this crazy idea we just came up with. What if we did a Next Generation of Star Trek? So, yeah, I remember it well. So to me, the plate reference was really, really touching to me. Do you remember Star Trek plates?
I heard of them. No, I mean, I heard of them. I think I saw an ad for at one point. But yeah, I knew they were a thing. I didn't have.
Yeah, it was a big deal back in I don't know why commemorative plates were. I don't know when commemorative plates stopped being a thing. I guess when people stopped having mantelpieces.
Or like a China cabinet or
all
something.
Yeah, you would put them up on a display on your mantelpiece.
Yeah.
And here is my, by the way, I love that they brought in the race with the metaphors, and I forget their names. And,
yes.
Shaka as the walls fell. Shaka as the walls fell.
But is he gone? Because their old chief of security's back. It's like, how'd you come back from the dead? You don't want to know.
Yeah, well, you can't ask, man. It's impolite. Don't ask why they come back from the dead. Although, I did not know that was a trope in Star Trek. Do people come back from the dead in Star Trek a lot?
Well, I mean, Spock did it. Did anybody do that in Next Gen?
Well, Spock did it, but Spock was a special circumstance, And I guess Yar did it.
Well, kind of.
Well, Yar didn't do it. Yar's child did it.
Yeah.
But they even reference, you're an alternate timeline child of them. Yeah, so.
Unless they're talking like Picard getting, assimilated, and so, I don't know.
Yeah, what did they do with him at the end of that? Because I still haven't watched Picard. They made him an android?
Yeah, but he's not like a good, he's basically, it simulates.
He's not a good android.
Well, no, it's not like Data.
It's like,
he doesn't have like super strength or anything. It's just like simulates like, a human body. But it's artificial.
Yeah. There was an episode of the $6 Million Man that's literally about that, which is that guy who he actually paid the $6 million to get bionic implants, but they toned him down. But he was very mad about that because he felt, you don't know what my actual human reactions were, because he was a race car driver who basically lost all his limbs. And he says, how can I get you to turn me up? Make my, I paid the $6 million, give me the super strength, give me the superpowers. And they do, and then he goes all evil and rogue. But, man, it's like nothing. It's like there are no new science fiction stories. It's like, actually, no, they did that same story back in $6 Million Man. So, I don't know, Philip. It's weird, but yeah, I mean, I love Lower Decks. It's fun. But along those same lines, you know what just wrapped filming?
What?
Season 3 of Orville.
Oh.
It is in the can, Philip. We are going to get our next season of Orville coming soon to Hulu, where all the best content is, apparently, according to Hulu. All right, Philip. Got in a whole fight recently about what platform Nora from Queens is on. Because technically it's on Comedy Central now.
Yeah.
It was HBO, but now it's on Comedy Central. But it's also on Hulu. And it'll probably eventually be on HBO with all of the desensorization. So, fingers crossed. All right, Philip. Philip, are there any plugs you'd like to do? Any connections you'd like to make? Any ways that people can find you if they need to find you?
I just want to say, if anyone wants to get a hold of us, you can always email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And find links to all of our stuff, social media, YouTube's, Patreon at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And every show, stay tuned in the beginning of October for the Southgate Media Group's podcast marathon number 6.
Yay! Only 63 more to go, Phil.
Okay, well.
Yes. Well, it's possible, man. The Lilith Hellfire Memorial, commemorative. Look, I'd like to be around in 69 years too, but at this point, I'm not sure the planet's going to be around in 63 years. So
need one of those Picard android bodies.
Yeah. No, but I want the one that actually has the strength.
Like
I
Data,
don't want the loser. I want the Max Coulson body where it's like, oh, wow, I have super strength now. That's awesome. Oh, Max Coulson, please come back. Hey, kids, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet Stargirl Tuesday nights at 8 when I don't do other things. And I did this previously Tuesday night, live tweet that show at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE. Yes, SER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz, and thank you, Tristan, here at home. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have spent another fantastic evening connecting with me and Phil. Please come back again next week and super connect with us again. Good night.
Good night.
I do like our theme song.
Thank you, Robert Southgate.
It's got a vaguely Doctor Who vibe to it, you know?
This was a Robert Southgate pick.
Oh, Robert wrote this?
Well, he found it.
Oh, he found it.
Yeah.
Who knows who wrote it? Some great artist, sadly unsung.